Hey guys, James the Fish Tank Dude here, and today I'm going to talk about GloFish. Just a heads up, GloFish are actually just genetically modified. Like, if you've never heard of them or just started learning about them, they're just genetically modified fish. Which, in the process, they weren't harmed at all. It's a whole different process. It's called gene splicing, and Gene splicing is the process of which you take one organism's DNA and then put it into another, and then they carry that same trait. And the thing about GloFish, sorry, I am so sorry, so sorry. Okay, so the thing about GloFish is that they're actually like sterile. You can't breed them because they were actually created by a certain company. I can't recall I think the company might be called GloFish. I'd feel pretty dumb if I forgot that, but yeah, I think that's what the company's called. Just to keep their copyright, like on the fish or something like that, they made them sterile so breeders couldn't breed them. So they're not breedable. But also, goldfish come in different species. You can get tiger barbs, danios, and tetra. Now, just because they're actually labeled glow, like as in like it's an entirely different species, doesn't mean you can like keep it in different like conditions. Like just because it's different looking doesn't mean it's a different species of fish. It's still the same species. Um, Now for Daniels, my suggestion is Daniels actually are pretty hardy, but you're gonna want them to keep them in something long, like maybe a 20-gallon long aquarium or a 29-gallon, because they are super active fish and they can get pretty nippy. And I do think they are cold water fish too. I've heard they are cold water fish, but that was just probably a debate with somebody I've had before. But it sounds like they would be. It'd be weird if they were, but. Yeah. And tiger barbs. Tiger barbs are actually pretty aggressive. Like, if you keep them in a small group, like really small, maybe like 3 to 2, either they'll pair up and kill one of them, or they'll kill each other if they're in such a small group, or even a small tank. Like, my suggestion for a minimal tank size for maybe a group of 5 to 6, 20 gallons at the least, but for more, about 29 gallons. Now, they can be kept with some other fish, but you got to be really careful. Like, angelfish are a bad idea to keep them with. I mean, angelfish are slow moving, they got long fins, so they're going to be like a primary victim of a tiger barb if you're keeping them with those. So, and tetra. Tetra are all community fish, so there's not really much to worry about with that. All I could say is just keep them in a big enough tank size. 20 gallons at the least for maybe 4 or 5 of them. And maybe a bottom feeder too. 29 gallons would work for about like 6 to 7 at least. But yeah, that'd be pretty good. So now, as far as like conditions go, a lot of these fish, except for Danios, I'm not really sure about those. Now they are tropical, so just make sure your tank temperature is about 71 degrees Fahrenheit to 80 degrees Fahrenheit. So you don't want to get them to freeze over, so you want to get a heater if your temperature isn't too maintainable. Suggestively, like a what's it called? I have one of these in the tank. You can change the temperature in it. It's made by Tetrafin, I think. Tetrafin's a pretty good brand. I would suggest it, but I mean, this heater hasn't died on me, and I've had it for over a year, and it's a really good heater. But yeah, just make sure you have warm water conditions, and make sure that you have a cycled aquarium. I say that on all my videos because sometimes people don't catch on quick enough to cycling aquariums, especially if they're beginners. And I'll be posting a video up about that soon. And yeah, just if you're a beginner, just watch out for videos that could help out. So And also I want to throw in there, there's a, ooh, how would I put it? There's a different type of fish that contrasts from GloFish. Now, these fish are actually dyed fish. You'll actually see these in like Walmart and stuff like that. Please, please, I forbid you, please, to not buy those. Now, there's a difference between the two. GloFish, they glow because of gene splicing and stuff like that, which is completely humane. Like, nothing was harmed in the process, and it isn't harmed at all. Now, the difference between the dyed fish and the GloFish, dyed fish are actually like injected with a dye, which could actually potentially damage them internally, and either will kill them or just permanently damage them. It's just the cruelest thing, which I suggest you not to buy dyed fish. I mean, I can't stop you, but that's just what dyed fish are. They're just injected with dye and just set to like swim around the tank. Like, you might think these things are ornaments, but they're not. They're actually living creatures. Some of which are actually really intelligent, like Oscars and stuff like that. Some other fish are just pretty dumb, but I mean, they're pretty cool to have. I mean, I have an Oscar, and he's kind of stupid, but he's pretty cool. But yeah, just make sure that, I mean, if you're gonna buy a fish, just make sure that it's humanely created, or just processed properly, or just in good conditions. So, but yeah, all I gotta say is about GloFish is they're really good fish, and just do your research. If you've missed some information, just comment below, and I'd be happy to cover that. And be sure to subscribe, and thanks for watching. Hope I helped.